This is the SPCE 1-month overview reading for the month of July 2023. It's currently May 14th, 2023, 5:47 p.m. Eastern Time. SPCE at the time of this reading in the extended hours, $4.01. That's USD. And the shuffle file for the July SPCE reading was created on May 4th, 2023 at 3:01 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. The overall theme and behavior for the month, we have a sideways fluctuating decline that precedes a rally. It's crossed with some sideways rotation, a period of sideways rotation that ends with a fast sun move higher. When we look, the highest high, behavior around the highest high, we'll have a decline out of which there's a notable move higher standing out on a multi-day chart where we move from the bottom of a range out of a decline all the way to the top of a range. It'll really stand out. You'll see it'll be like the full range with the move starting out of a decline. That full range will take us into the high, and then behavior around the lowest low. We have an unexpected move to the upside, also standing out on a multi-day chart. It'll be an unexpected move, so probably there'll be like some negative headwinds or reasons to expect lower to go, but instead we turn around and we go higher. From an overall standpoint, what I'm seeing is some sideways rotation near the lows here in the last 2 weeks, and then most likely a fast sun move higher, ending that sideways rotation in the beginning of August, with a decline off of a high, it looks like. It's a little bit difficult to determine exactly where the highest high is. There's a couple of places where it most likely will be. There's a possible location on the 3rd, possible on like the 5th, 6th. Most likely on the 10th, 11th is my sense. It's most likely going to be on the 10th, 11th. But again, not the most easy reading for me to determine. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult, so just keep that in mind. And I'm just going to notate that there as a possible high. Before we go any further, let's take a look at the April reading and see how we did. So this, between this vertical line and this vertical line is April. And it looks like we have a a lowest low on the 5th, 6th. We have a lowest low on the 6th right here, so we nailed the low. And then we have a high on the, what is that, the 19th. Looks like we missed it by a day, but pretty close. We have it on the 20th. Well, depending on how you look at it. If you consider the actual candlestick body the high, then 19th would be pretty accurate. We'll get a little higher at the very end here, but what are you going to do? If you consider the wick to be the highest part, then 20th is the highest. So that was significant. From the standpoint of trading, on the 5th, wanted to open up a long position and hold that long position until the 19th. So on the 5th was here, open up a long position, hold that long position until the 19th. We would have made some serious money there. The 19th was also an opportunity to open up a short position, which we would then close around the 25th, 26th. And you can see 25th, 26th would have been a solid trade there. A lot of pretty solid trades here for the month of April. When we were crossed with this opportunity to open up a short position, yeah, so it's pretty solid, guys. That's a pretty accurate reading, and to take into consideration that the April reading was created on February 16th, 2023 at 10:25 p.m. Eastern Time. That's saying something about SO meta-analysis, my friends. All right, that's the full shuffle. Let's get back into the reading. So on the 1st, we have a decline off of what could be a highest high, most likely just a prominent crest, but there's a decline off of it offering a trade opportunity, which I'll get into in the paid version in more depth. For those of you that aren't interested so much in like a day-to-day kind of trade, you're more interested in a longer-term trade, it's important for me to let you know, when you get the paid version of any of these readings, what you're actually getting is, we talk about trades on a multi-year scale, we talk about trades on a one-year scale, multi-month scale, we talk about trades for the month, what to enter for the long term. You know, there's a bunch of information that you just don't get in the public version, and it's a really great way to support the channel. So check it out, my friends. You go to ESOMeta Services, or ESOMeta Posts, click on that, and then go down to monthly subscription, click here. Pick whichever subscription you're interested in. In this case, we're talking about Bitcoin. Or if you want access to all of the paid versions, it's a steal for $250 a month. Really great way to support. In any case, whatever you choose to subscribe to, we remember everybody that does that, because they're really helping us to fulfill our goals. So thanks for that, guys. On the 5th, we have, so there's a lot of decline on the 3rd, and then on the 5th, it looks like we might actually open slightly higher, but at a low for the day, with some movement to the upside and a peak or crest around midday that we sell off from pretty notably into the 6th. It's kind of erratic here. We have a decline on the 6th that increases with momentum moving forward in time. It also appears there's a peak or crest at the end of the day on the 6th, so we probably decline off of that peak or crest, and we're bumping along resistance from like mid-5th into like late 6th. We're bumping along resistance, breaking through resistance, bumping along resistance. There's a little bit of a decline mid-5th as well, but for the most part, bumping along resistance, and then we decline off of that pretty notably. Decline continues on the 7th through multiple support levels. Also important to point out, somewhere here around like the 1st or 2nd week of the month, there's going to be a speech near the high. Somebody's speaking near the high. What they're talking about should not be trusted. It's intentionally deceptive. On the 10th, we have a crest or peak that we sell off from down to and through support on a multi-day scale. We do a U-shaped reversal, come back and reuse that support as support, and then on the 11th, we have a period of sideways rotational on key support with move higher to the nearest critical resistance, and then we fall back down and continue rotating sideways. There's also a day trade opportunity there on the 11th, which I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. On the 12th, we have a prominent move higher followed by a full retracement of that move. It's either that or we have a merger or acquisition that's highlighted, and there would be like a holding pattern of some sort there. But most likely we have a highest high somewhere here around the 11th, the 10th or the 11th. On the 13th, it looks like we gap down. There's either a low at the end of the day on the 12th, or we gap down overnight on the 12th, and we're in oversold territory on the 13th with a big move to the upside standing out on a multi-day scale. We meet an important peak on the 14th with a day trade opportunity I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version, and a sharp decline off of that peak or crest, a sharp decline standing out on a multi-day scale. On the 17th, we have erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level, in the midst of which we revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. That erratic behavior turns into a rally along a diagonal trend line that takes us into the 18th, where that rally along the diagonal trend line ends with a fast sudden move higher that takes us to a prominent peak or crest, so it'll stand out on a multi-day scale, followed by a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. Looks like early in the day on the 19th, there's a move higher to and a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline into midday through declining through key support. End of day, there's a pretty big move, or midday, there's a pretty big move lower, and then it looks like we gap up overnight. Sideways rotation along key support on the 20th. I'm advised to be cautious there. There's a peak at the end of the day and an opportunity to open up a short position around the cusp of the 20th, 21st. I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. We also have what may be a lowest low thus far there on the 19th and a lowest low thus far on the 21st. They might be lowest lows. Less likely to be the lowest low than like the cusp of the 26th, 27th, but they could be. They're more likely to be lowest lows thus far. There's an important technical price level that's highlighted on the 21st too. That's an important technical price level on the scale of at least a 1 year's chart. On the 24th, we have a peak or crest that we sell off from pretty notably. Rally on the 25th that increases with momentum moving forward in time, taking us into the 26th, where we have a sideways S formation within a channel. So we decline to from resistance to support, retrace all the way back to resistance, retrace all the way back to support, creating a sideways S formation. And then we most likely have a lowest low here around the cusp of the 26th, 27th, with a lot of price change and an important resistance level highlighted. Looks like we rally into an important resistance level midday there on the 27th. A lot of price change on the 28th. Looks like we have some... a lot of price change. Rotation along key support. And there's a trade opportunity, a significant trade opportunity on a multi-day scale in preparation for the following month. I'll talk about that in more detail in the paid version. There's also a day trade opportunity there. On the 31st, we have multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. And then in August, we have a fast sudden move higher, at least... somewhere in the month, and a higher price level or higher high in August than we have in July, as depicted by this this correlation to the highest high here. That's SPCE for July 2023. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, my friends, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so here at the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders. If you don't know what this rule of karma is, guys, it's the most important reason for this channel. We're asking that people donate 5% of the profits that they make from the information on this channel. We're giving it away for free so that you donate a portion of it back. Donate it forward to one of these charities here, and donate 5% back to the channel here at Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, or Wise. Make sure that you spend that remaining 90% out of love, and the universe will send it back to you tenfold from all directions, my friends. Stay tuned. We're going to get into the paid version with the best trades that we see for the month next. I'll see you on the next one, my friends.